What is up, guys? Welcome back to Awesome Kids TV. Welcome back to another blockcraft gameplay. I have updated the Tower of Achievements yet again, and look at that, we got Nether and End Achievements. That's right, Nether and Ender Achievements. Of course, send the bill limit. We didn't want to go too far on that. Anyway, in this video, we're going to be combining a temple with a desert. That's right, desert temple and castle combined. We're calling it the castle temple. We're going to be starting with a plains one. So we're of course going to gather up plains themed materials like oak wood planks, oak wood logs, oak wood stairs, slabs, fences, and of course wooden trapdoors. And then glass blocks for the windows. And of course we'll add in some dim lighting to make it authentic. Don't worry, we'll add beds in there. We'll add beds. Don't worry. I promise we'll add beds. Let me just scoot up here. Now we can truly start to build this castle temple. And of course we're gonna start by placing down our entrance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 blocks long. There we go, 5 block long entrance. And then stairs right about there. Now we go out like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go, 10. I like that. And then we go up like that. This is where our pattern of choice actually comes in. Pending, of course. We're going to get into that once we finish this side. Same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. Now our pattern of choice comes in. Our perfect pattern of choice. There we go. Nice. Now we get to add the oak wood planks. There we go. We're looking pretty nice, looking pretty cool. No errors, yet. Alright, we now get to move on to the next bit of the castle. The next wall of the castle. Same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go, 10 inches on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we do the exact same thing that we did on the first 2 walls. Now we cover them all up like that. Just like that. Nice. Now we do the exact same thing on the other dang wall. This'll look pretty cool once it's all built. Seriously, it's gonna look pretty cool once it's all built. There we go. Now we place down the oak wood planks. If I place 1 block, then more than 1 block on top, it would make the process a lot faster. Alright, we now get to add in the floor of the main room of the castle. This is where the oak wood logs actually come in. This is where uh they come in. There we go. This is actually taking up a lot of block space. I'm not even kidding. But in a open, super flat world, there's a ton of space. Anyway, speaking of that, if you guys are subscribed to channels like Alex Clark and Let Me Explain Studios and other Storytime channels, then you might have seen James's Wrong Numbers story video titled, of course, Wrong Numbers, ironically. Anyway, if you guys have forgotten, basically, the backstory of James is that, well, he grew up in a generation where smartphones were a new thing, and everyone in his class had one except for him. Poor old guy. Anyway, his parents never gotten him a phone because they didn't want him to access the internet on a device that could fit in his pocket. They didn't want him to do that because they were super strict and didn't want him looking at some strange internet stuff, which backfired horribly, by the way, if you want to know. So, unfortunately, they didn't give him a smartphone until he was like 16 years old. But now that he's an adult who uses those things every day, he has no idea how he would survive for at least 16 years without one. Yeah, you guys know the rest. Anyway, let's continue building the castle, and we're going down 7 like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Now we do the exact same on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we do the exact same thing that we did to the previous walls, and that is pattern them up, of course, to make them look more plains-like. We might add some additional spruce bits, but for now we're gonna go with the oak that we're putting in here. There we go. Now we go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There you go. 15 blocks on every single square inch. Half of this will be logs that are laying down. Half of this will be logs facing up. So that it will make it more authentic. Now we go out 15 like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now we place down all of these logs right here. Now we do the same thing to these darn logs. Now let's continue our chat. One time, Mr. Jabes of the Odd Ones Our YouTube channel got a call from a number he did not recognize at 9:30 in the morning. And of course, naturally, at the time, he was lying in his bed asleep, and most people would obviously agree that you are supposed to be awake and productive at 9:30. And he didn't want to let the stranger think he was lazy, and so all he had to do was answer the phone with his best "I've been awake for several hours" voice. So he took a couple deep breaths like this. And it was all like, hello? And then a Irish sounding voice responded back saying, you're going to have to come quickly. Timmy fell down the well, Vance. And he was all like, what? And then she responded back, I said you're going to have to come quickly because Timmy fell down the well, Vance. At the time, he could tell it was a woman on the phone. But it was either her accent or the phone being buggy or that he had just woken up at the time. But he could not absolutely understand what the frick she was flippin' saying. And he could only make out one word, which was Vance. So, he did not have a lot to pick off of. He said, I think you have the wrong number. And then she yelled a bunch of times on the phone and she was all like, okay, talk to you later. And then, a moment's notice later, he got a call from the exact same woman that called him earlier. And he was all like, okay, maybe this person is calling again, even though after I explicitly told her she had the wrong number. Maybe it's not a wrong number after all. Maybe maybe there's something else going on. Maybe there's an emergency, so maybe talk to me. And then she was all like, hold on, Vance. And of course he was naturally all like, okay, I cannot understand anything you're saying. And then she passed the phone to her friend and a different voice started talking. And James, of course, could understand her. And he will never forget what she said to him, which was, Vance, no one thinks that you're funny. And even though he was not Vance at the time, that kind of hurt. So he naturally stated the obvious, which was, yes, I am. Also not Vance. And the other woman on the phone went, no, Lance. So this whole time, those two were looking for a Lance. And James told this person, I'm not Lance either. And she was flipping out. She was freaking all like, well, this is the number they gave me. Well, if she had said it like, oh, I'm sorry, this is the number they gave me. I didn't mean to call you, stranger. Also, I do think you're funny and enjoy your videos. Then that would have been fine. She's just shipping the blame to someone else. But then she hung up on James. Like this woman basically just called a random person and said, you're not funny, and freaking hung up. And so James naturally decided to call her back and say, hey, I just found the real Lance. He's the funniest guy you ever met. And he doesn't give his phone number out to real pieces of... Just kidding on the last part. He did not swear while that was happening. He thought about doing it, but then he went back to sleep. He didn't do it. But then someone on the internet found his phone number and he changed it. So if anyone has his old number, you are probably getting a lot of calls from strangers and people James went to high school with. Sorry about that. James had a lot of funny experiences with that, actually. So funny and hilarious that I do not even care at this point. So if you guys don't even care at this point, that's okay, I guess. There you go. I just finished the 2 front towers. Now I'm gonna build the rear towers. I am now building the rear towers. There we go. This is rear tower number 1. Now we're building rear tower number 2. This is rear tower number 2. Oh boy, I hope I calculated this correctly. I hope I calculated this correctly, guys. Did I calculate correctly? Me calculate correctly. Me calculations aren't incorrect. They were 100% correct. Alright, let's add in some more details. Like a staircase over here. I'm using oak wood log, of course, to make the staircase. There you go, there's one staircase right there. One right here. There we go. Build. Now we'll have a little balcony out here. There we go. This is one balcony complete. Now we're going to build the other balcony here. We're now building the other balcony. There we go. All 2 balconies are now complete. Now we add the planks. All right. Part number 1 has been complete. I'll work on part number 2. But yeah, that is it for this video. Don't forget to stay tuned to the next video. Bye bye.